In 2020, four friends decided to listen to every one of the greatest 500 albums decided by Rolling Stone magazine.
What were we going to listen to a song from last week?
Step by step, day by day, some Patrick Duffy.
This was like, I know Suzanne Summers was, maybe that's my age thing, my Pichon for age area. Yeah. But Suzanne Summers from Step by Step.
Are you putting her in the Hall of Fame?
Hall of Fame.
Okay.
First ballot, Hall of Famer, top of the pyramid, top of the Bill Simmons Hall of Fame pyramid. Step by Step, Suzanne Summers.
Step by Step. Okay,
I'd say like an equivalent of like Dirk Nowitzki all time.
Oh, wow. You think Suzanne Summers is Dirk Nowitzki? First of all, what a strange person to compare hot people to. Dirk Nowitzki looked like if a rat got superpowers to play basketball.
I'm not saying, but he's like 18th all time.
Yeah,
I'm putting her. That's like a great rating, right?
Oh, this is the one where they have so many fucking kids, right?
What was the deal with this? Is it a blended family or something?
It's like the Brady Bunch, except for the stepmom is Suzanne Summers.
But look at this guy. This guy is laying pipe. Not only is he laying enough pipe to get like 3 of his own kids. So you're telling me, is this
Bobby from Dallas?
Man and woman meet, marry, each bringing 3 children to the newly blended family. That's the fucking Brady Bunch. This is the Brady Bunch. What's the difference between Step by Step and the Brady Bunch?
Because she's way hotter than she's on the Hall of Fame, and Jan Brady or whatever her name is not.
The 6 of the 7. This was on ABC's TGIF block. That's how big the show was. It was TGIF. Remember that?
Yeah, it was huge.
TGIF. Can you imagine now if you're like, hey, this TV show is so big, I'm going to sit at home and watch it on a Friday?
That was like a thing. We were probably in middle school, but it was like, are you watching TGIF tonight? That was a thing.
Crazy.
Right? Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't remember that because I was out. I was making out a lot.
You think you're at the country club.
Yeah, making out with people.
I bet when Rob saw
putting the milk bottles out for the delivery.
I bet Rob saw this and he's like, man, I hope my dad gets divorced so I can have a stepmom like Suzanne Summers.
Listen, I've seen some stuff recently.
Yeah.
It's opened my eyes.
Why?
Okay.
Where did you see it, Rob?
I'm not going to get into. Listen, I want to talk to you about a new category that's come up on some sites. I cannot do it right now. It's the hottest. It's the hottest category. Oh my god!
Is it blended families?
No.
It's
similar. It's actually a pretty similar theme, believe it or not. All right, here we go. In 2020, 4 friends decided to listen to one of the greatest 500 albums decided by Rolling Stone magazine. This resulted in a text chain that celebrated music, excoriated the order, and led us to making this podcast. We are far from experts. It just zoomed in on Suzanne Summers. I got so distracted.
Hold on. Also, Suzanne Summers in this video is wearing like a suit to a theme park. She was wearing a suit at the theme park.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Shoulder pads.
Big
the whole
shoulder.
thing.
Big shoulder.
Yeah.
Big shoulder pad suit at a Valley Fair, which is, I think, off like 212 down in Chaska, man.
Hey.
Where's Valley Fair?
101.
Okay.
101.
Ladies, I agree with Aaron. Let's get back to wearing suits. Okay, cover up those shoulders. We want them suits. We want those shoulders big.
And when you see me, just start walking right at me. Just walk.
Just walk right
do
toward
it,
me.
ladies.
This is reminiscent of the All I Want for Christmas Is You video, where we were like, this is such a sexy video. And then it turns
This
out
is a
not.
real
And
letdown.
like Suzanne Summers is in Russell's top 18, and here she is in the shoulder pads.
Like we couldn't have picked the Thigh Master one.
Shout out to our imaginations.
Aaron wants women to wear suits. Let's not forget that that's the bit we're doing. All right. Here we go.
Carried all the way through.
We are far from experts.
That for the ding.
Promise to do almost no research. All opinions are our own unless you disagree. Please sit back and enjoy. Beck did it better. We're all the way up to album 232. And from 1959, we have one of the seminal albums of jazz. Whew, didn't screw that up. You know what I thought I was going to say.
Yeah.
With John Coltrane, Giant Steps. Okay, now I'll tell you what. Giant Steps, that's better than when Andre got a sore throat.
Giant strip?
Giant strip. My brother's killing me. My throat hurts. I feel like that's getting really good. I feel like it's so close, but I can't
It's right
practice
there.
it anymore.
Just keep going.
It's right on the
You mean
board.
because it's borderline offensive?
You got to be careful. If people don't know you're doing an Andre impression, you're going to be in big trouble. You're going to be in huge trouble, okay? As I found out at my wife's work dinner. All right, now,
Well, when you showed up wearing your black leotard with the one strap
With the
and
one
then
strap.
kept walking over
They should've
stairs,
known.
one leg at a time.
I should have known.
Yeah. Oh, you think I'm King Kong Bundy? Really? I'm sorry. Did King Kong Bundy have this beautiful head of hair? Idiots.
You do kind of. I think you have similar chest hair to King Kong Bundy.
Yes, thank you.
Rob, have
Yeah.
you ever come up to like a fence and like you're with a more athletic friend and they do like the jumping Jim Brunzell hop over the fence, like
Yeah.
where they put their hands and they like swing and they just hop over.
Can you imagine?
And you've got to do like the Andre the Giant, like push it down and
Yeah,
go one leg over at a time.
100%.
So
100%. Like climb the fence and kind of get over you. Yeah. Russell,
Yeah.
the number of people that could do like pommel horse shit over things, I was always impressed by that. Like just
Like
my ankles
That's
hurt.
Steve. I bet he could popple horse over a small fence.
That Steve?
Yeah, that's Steve.
Let's get right into today's theme song.
Wow, I'm going to be impressed.
Where did I put it?
Actually, we usually say that we're going to K-Rob, the radio.
Oh, yeah, we're going to K-Rob.
If you want to hear about the greatest albums of all time and jazz.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah.
We're going jazz today, guys.
I love it. You know I'm here for it.
And just too late to get up online. If you want to hear some jazz.
Oh,
You want to hear four guys who chat and then get off track. I've got the perfect podcast for you, Jack. Beck did it better. Jazz style. Oh, yeah.
Good work.
That's
Rob.
from back when I put a lot of effort into the show. All right, we've got three guys here who
That
want
was
to talk
nice.
about John Coltrane and a little bit of jazz. I've got Matt in Minneapolis. Matt, how are you doing?
Good, Rob. Come on. Try a little harder. Nothing is forever. There's got to be something better than in the middle.
Wow.
Thanks for having me.
I've got Russell in Minneapolis. Russell, how are you doing?
I don't have a quote for this. I didn't think there were lyrics on the album. I apologize.
Oh, love supreme.
Clearly there are. Didn't you hear mine?
Love supreme.
What?
And I've got Aaron out in California. Now, Aaron recently went to a ninja parade, and he said it was great. He didn't see a thing.
What?
well, Rob, I know on this album you're going to work clean and be Mr. PC. Let's talk about Giant Steps.
Thank you. Of course, Russell, ninja were the ancient sect of dishonored warriors known for their silence walking around feudal Japan.
Wasn't that a Tom Cruise movie? One of the Pleasure Principal's favorites was in a movie like this.
I like that one. That was, yeah.
You're thinking of The Last Samurai, Russell.
Oh,
Different than ninjas. Way different than ninjas.
I was a huge fan of the Three Ninjas, the kids movie back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a good, was Hulk Hogan ever in
Rocky
that?
loves Emily. Rocky loves Emily.
I was fascinated by the Three Ninja scene where they had the basketball game. That's what fascinated me, because didn't they spot them 9 points? I think they spotted the bullies 9 points and then still beat them.
Or is there a thing where like all ninja or samurai, but not all samurai or ninja or anything like that? Are they like, is either of them a subcategory of the other?
Guys,
Or are they just
samurai
entirely
were brave.
unrelated?
Samurai were brave warriors fighting for their masters. Okay. Unless masters died and they roamed the hills, then they were called Ronin. Okay. Ninja were a dishonorable sect of secrecy. Okay. And assassins.
We played a baseball team last weekend, and there was a kid named Ronan. And like, I want to respect it, but also like, what are you thinking about? Like, you
That's
named your kid Ronan.
badass.
What do you like? You're asking for trouble.
Get that guy in charge of an army right now.
Yes.
Some guy named Ronan was telling me when to storm the beach. I'd fucking go.
Okay.
Rob, when I was thinking about Three Ninjas, this was like the genre of movies when we were kids where like kids became the ones in charge. Like, right?
Yes.
And the other
like
one I
Red
was thinking
Dawn,
of, this is right in this.
Ruskies.
I was thinking of Blank Check. Remember that? The kid gets like the blank check and just starts spending all the money. Like, what a great time for movies, right? Where
Iron
the
Eagle.
kids become the one in power.
That's when you were at the age where you're like, the coolest thing in the world would be if I lived in a toy store. And you're like, this. And then there's like a movie where the guy like sleeps in a toy store and you're like, this is the greatest thing ever.
My kid says all the time, he's like, I wish I was rich. And I say, like, well, what'd you do if you're rich? He says, I would buy the Great Wolf Lodge. Like, that's where right where the mindset is at.
I mean, that'd be a pretty wise choice.
I mean,
I don't know what those cap rates are going for those right now, Matt, if they're under 5 or what, but Cash
A little
flow.
higher right now.
Cash
A little
flow.
higher.
And meanwhile, you find out what really happens with guys when they get super rich. And it's the same thing. They get a yacht and then they find young women to come hang out with them on a yacht. Okay. It literally is like the grown-up version of sleeping in the toy store of like, I cannot wait till I have women that only want me for my money. And we all agree to that, but we're on my yacht.
I have had to explain to the upstairs roommate, we're going to talk about maybe a local athlete who may be fathering some children out there and not really having to pay the consequence. I've told her, this is the point.
Anthony Edwards.
This is the point of being rich and famous is you can do that and not have any consequences.
Yep. Johnny Appleseed.
Russell, just to bring it back for the cap rate crowd, you have to have a premium over the treasury. So usually it's a 10-year treasury they're talking about. We're at about 415 right now. You got to be at least 100. Typically it's 150 to 200 basis points over.
Russell's off. Yeah, Russell's off camera. You know how it goes.
So you're going to be at a minimum. You're going to want to be at a minimum of about a 515 to a 525 cap rate now on high quality stuff like industrial and multifamily properties. But other things such as retail usually gets 50 basis points more. Office, you're probably much more of like 250 to 300 over.
Oh, he's so good at this. He's so good.
You know how mad I was when I found out real life didn't have a community chest? Like in my mind, just every once in a while, you got to draw good things. Instead, you know what my life is like? The bank cards in Monopoly. A lot of charges.
Rob goes to jail. And then he has to report. Then he has to report to the authorities whenever he's
Rob
around
does not
school.
pass go. He does not collect $200.
Guys, I was on another little spree at the airport. I got to admit, it felt so
You
good.
stole from the airport again.
Oh,
Rob, you know what? I almost stole from the airport up last week.
you did?
I did. You know what?
Yes.
All
Russell.
the airports are reaching the point where all the stands are now automatic. They don't have people there. And so when you go up, half the time the stuff doesn't scan, the cards don't work.
It's
you're
a
hitting
victimless
buttons,
crime.
nothing's happening. And at some point you're like, if this is the way you want to treat me, where you're just going to let it go and put out shitty systems that don't work, I might have to steal this shit.
Russell, that
Rob,
is so
I'm
good.
with you. I didn't steal, but I would understand why somebody would.
I get it, Russell. Wink, wink. I would understand really well, too. Wink, wink.
See the appeal.
Okay. Russell, you think that's cool? You should be seeing what I'm doing some Tesla dealerships lately. Oh, my God. Listen, let's get right into our voicemail.
We got one.
We got a voicemail.
We got one this week.
This is it. Okay, I've got maybe one or two other voicemails after this one.
Hold on,
Please
hold on.
leave a voicemail.
Other movies from that era. Richie Rich. Man of the House starring, it looks like Chevy Chase and the kid from Home Improvement.
JTT?
Yeah, this is like mid-90s kid movies.
Remember when there was a movie where JTT played like an indigenous person in New York City? That doesn't seem right now, does
See,
it?
I was thinking, oh, yeah.
Well, I think
What's
that's
the baseball one?
Chevy Chase
stuff.
is wearing some sort of native headdress, so I'm assuming that's it.
Seems like a tasteful movie to show the kids to me.
I was thinking, Russell, more of the
guy comes-
Oh, yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Also one where he's the manager for the Twins. Which one's that
Little
one?
Big League.
Yeah.
Little Big League, yeah.
Wow.
I was thinking
Little
more about
Rascals.
the ones from the 80s where it's like the kids are going to have to defend the free world against the, where it's like Iron Eagle,
There we go.
Ruskies, like those where they're like the kids are now like flying the planes and stuff.
A great time for movies.
Yeah.
What year did Pirates come out?
Oh, Rob's gonna pull some movies. none of us have ever
2005.
seen.
That was my favorite movie from that era, Pirates. Pirates, of course, being famously the largest budget pornography movie ever made.
Oh God.
It cost, how much did it cost? A budget well over $1 million. Okay.
You got to pay those grips.
Oh, tell me about it. God, that's when I would have been out there too, 2005. Shit. All right. I made
Brought all
huge
the chalk
mistakes.
into the room to hold these grips.
This grip is gripping it too hard. Tell them to get a grip. Tell them to loosen
Oh
this
man,
grip.
I spilled my baby oil and fell in it and got it all over my body.
This grip's telling me about double HJs.
Oh, now, don't say double HJs, Aaron. We're not at that part of the show.
Little Giants.
Cannot say that. Now, okay, let's get into the voicemail.
Okay, to be clear, this is a dude, not Charm.
Oh,
Does that exclude me from the live show? Had salmon the other night. threw the skin away.
Dumb shit.
I know we did the right thing because Aaron would eat it.
All right. So that I just realized is the same caller from last week. So we are really out of voicemails. We are really out of voicemails. That was, again, the Texas caller who is not Sharm. I didn't realize.
Mike from Texas.
Yes. So that's Mike. We're going to call him Mike number 2.
So we have two fans in Texas. One who's Sharm and one who's not Sharm.
Deep in the heart of Texas.
That's great. That's nice.
So guys, he is, again, he's interested in the live show. But again,
Mike's trying to make it up for the live show, Aaron. You missed that.
I mean, he should be here. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's meet.
He did mention the salmon. I was watching an episode of Top Chef last night.
Right.
3 fish dishes. 2 of the 3 had the skin on the fish. If you'll notice this picture here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Salmon skin.
I see it.
If you get like properly done salmon, the skin is on the fish.
Part of the
Dumb shits who are taking it off don't know how to cook. You don't know what you're doing. Shots fired.
I'm with Russell, man. It's got to be prepared correctly.
When there's some people in this house that will cook salmon to get up to 180 degrees internally. Okay. They do not care if
potato chip salmon.
Yeah. They do not care if things are cooked at appropriate temperatures. They just want it done and as fast as possible. They think the oven is just a big blast furnace. So I think I might not be getting the right salmon, but I have to admit, I have gone out to eat it.
Rob, hold on. You need to have the talk with him, Rob, that you know, there's a process that you got to go through before just trying to get to the finish. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to kind of
get that hot that quick.
Yeah, you can't get that hot that quick. You got to lead up to the hotness, right?
Man.
And then once everything's going, it's not about the finish. It's about making sure that salmon is being cooked just right.
But I've noticed that
perfectly.
A lot of times when she's cooking this salmon,
oh no,
she has to go to sleep really soon after. In fact, maybe you took your what's that sleeping pill called? Melatonin. Yeah.
Cannabis?
Oh, I've just taken my melatonin. So the salmon needs to get done.
This is why Matt's
quickly.
the one who's been taking bras off and not us. This is what we got to spend more time listening to Matt.
Sometimes it's easier to cook my own portion of salmon.
It's all about the preparation of the salmon, Rob, beforehand. You don't just throw that thing in there and let it cook.
That's kind of part of the problem too. Is when some people are on spring break, the salmon has been cooked many times already that day. Hey, the salmon is just getting reheated. Sometimes it doesn't taste as good when it reheats and it smells weird.
Wait, so hold on.
What?
You took like a trip to Costa Rica, then
Yep.
a trip to Boston, and now you're on spring break.
Yeah, it's week 2 of spring break, Russell.
You got to be shitting me.
Week 2 of spring break?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Oh, you think I'm going to have 1 week of spring break like a loser? No way. And actually, I have next Monday off too, so it's actually 2 weeks and a day.
How have you had this much time off and we only have 2 episodes
Never
of
mind,
the show out of it?
Hey,
I'm still
Never
so
mind.
tired. I haven't gotten enough sleep. I stay
don't
up too
quit
late
your
every night
job.
playing
Don't
video
quit your
games.
job for stand-up. Keep this fucking posh
Stand-up
job that you
comedians
got.
do not get a 2-week spring break and then
You
go to
have
go
this
to Costa Rica.
so much time off and we're still so far behind on this podcast.
Let me ask you this. Do
Poor
stand-up
Matt has to
comedians
stay up when he's jet lagged.
have to work in the summer?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
They probably got to work
hey,
at like bad comedy stores like in Minneapolis, like Acme.
I'll tell you right now, you'll never catch my ass working July 8th. I don't care where I have a job. I will never work there. I tell everybody I worked at Starbucks. Yeah, I worked there 6 months until guess what? June,
July 8th.
motherfucker. I quit. It was the summer. Rob doesn't work in the summer. He never has, and he never will. Okay? That's a time for Rob's life to spiral out of control for a couple weeks till he gets his shit together. It happens every year.
He's waking up at 2 p.m.
Okay?
Till 3,
Shit gets
playing.
real weird. Okay?
No, he wakes up about 10, but then watches TikTok till 2 p.m.
Oh my God. Oh, TikTok is hidden right now too. I'll tell you that. Big time. This AI shit, guys, they got it crazy. All right.
Hey, I heard there's like a new category or something that's really popular or something. You were going to tell us what it is?
Man, wouldn't that be weird if somebody said shared bed? God, that'd be weird. All right, let's get into rolling, going.
It's time to see.
And when I'm saying shared bed, man, I'm not talking about a bed going, if I could turn back time.
Oh, yeah.
What?
If I could find, you want to talk about hot video, Russell? If I could turn back time?
Oh, a shared bed. I get it.
Yeah, shared
It's a
bed.
Shared bed.
Yeah,
Shared
wearing a
bed.
thong. All right. Aaron, rolling going. How's it going with you?
It's going great. Rob, you were mentioning
Thank you.
cooking temperatures earlier. And I haven't given any food thoughts recently, but I had a couple lately that I wanted to share with you guys. Number one, I don't think that we should stack compared to my favorite chef's knife because I use it every day. My lady made some great pancakes this morning. I came to the realization that we should now be stacking pancakes. If you stack the pancakes, you miss out on getting the toppings on every single pancake. It just messes
you put a fork in here and you flip it up a little bit. You stuff some stuff in there. You put it down. Fork goes in the next layer, and then you put some butter in there. You pour some syrup. You have set it down.
Hold on. Let me see if I can help out, Aaron.
Yeah.
You don't just go in and start cutting the pancakes. You have to prepare the pancakes. You have to butter each layer. You have to go in and you have to put in each layer. It's not about how quick you get the pancakes into your mouth. It's the preparation to get to it.
Matt, you're a fucking tantric genius.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to listen to the pancakes talk about your parents right before, which makes it weird. When you bring that up, it starts a bigger fight with the pancakes. That's not worth it. So sometimes you just have to power through.
But oddly invigorating, right, Rob?
Yeah.
That's like strange.
It's like, this is when we have to talk about this is right now when I'm trying to butter these pancakes up.
I mean,
so it comes down to plate coverage though too, right? How do you, do you leave it on the griddle? I mean, because you don't want to leave it on the griddle too long either.
Well,
like that.
These were, so Anna made pancakes this morning. They were absolutely delicious. And then I brought them to my plate from the serving plate. I like, on my pancakes, I like to do peanut butter and yogurt.
What the fuck? Goodbye.
With some syrup.
Goodbye.
Dude, we don't
When you want to hear about the
This is fucked.
We need to do this album.
Yogurt.
Is it Greek yogurt too, probably?
Yeah, it's Greek yogurt. I wasn't going to say that.
butter?
You asked. Yeah. And so I like to have, I've been stacking them and just putting the, peanut butter and yogurt on the one top of the one.
Thinking about it, the more that's fucked.
And it turns out they should be.
They should be what?
Like it's a nice, because, so if you eat pancakes, you're going to get a sugar crash, right? Like you eat the pancakes and then an hour later you're like, well, now
do you really need that much peanut butter and that much yogurt? Like, do you need more than one layer of that?
Well, no, one layer on each pancake. If I put them side by side on the plate, and then they each get their own peanut butter and yogurt.
When was the first time you did that? Like, there's no way you and your wife are sitting around and she's got like a normal pancake topping. You're like, God, you know what I'm going to try is peanut butter and Greek yogurt. There's when did you try
I don't know. Matt knows if you live with a vegetarian, there's peanut butter around all the time. Like that's a number one source of protein and fat.
Not the thing. You don't get it, Aaron. We all can picture putting peanut butter on a pancake. That makes sense. It's
like an English muffin kind of.
It's the Greek yogurt.
It was a cashier at Whole Foods who asked me if I ever put peanut butter and yogurt together.
Oh my
God. He was like, do you ever put
that was not
I was buying the Greek.
Aaron.
It's a joke. He played a joke.
That was not a real thing. That was a euphemism.
He played a prank on you.
Have you ever put peanut butter and yogurt? Come on.
He hated your face. He hated the way you walked
he
up
said
to him.
I was buying the Greek yogurt. He said, "Do you ever put this together, peanut butter?" He said,
"Yeah."
It sounds weird, but
you're a pretty good streetwise guy. Like you gotta. This one went right over your head.
It sounds weird, but it keeps you hella full. And I was like, I like that idea. I want to be hella full. I want to eat my breakfast and feel hella full after. I will never forget. This was like 8 years ago.
Most famously, my famous conversation I've had with a cashier was at Costco, where they go, "Hey, you should put these peanut butter Captain Crunch in the microwave." And I was like, fuck yeah. That's some good advice. That's a real, I'm really shopping, Aaron. You're at a Whole Foods where they're like, hey, you should put, if some guy fucking said to me, hey, you should put this on pancakes, I go, put my fucking shit back in the cart. I'm going to a different aisle. Get me your manager right now.
Rob's like, you should even get the king size Twix. It's a better deal.
Can you imagine if you worked at a grocery store and it said like syrup, butter, Greek yogurt? What the fuck are you talking about? If this person said this to me, I would rage. I would go full Karen mode.
Of course, it's delicious. Put some maple syrup on there with some good pancakes. Yeah, crunchy peanut butter.
This is fucked. I'm serious. I'm really unhappy about this.
Delicious.
Russell, just picture this. Picture this. Sunday morning brunch. You sit down. You've got somebody brings you pancakes out, but they've put Greek yogurt on it.
It'd be breakup time.
You know what's amazing to me now that you guys are saying this, like when Anna's parents are here, like if she often makes pancakes when we have guests, and like that's the usual toppings we put out on the table, or the peanut butter and the Greek yogurt. Like they're probably, I'm sure they're looking at it just like, what is wrong with people? And they've never said it. This
feels like you guys are going overboard on the California thing when you've got visitors. Like we're trying to make it seem like we're different. Like there's no way you ever had that in Iowa, right, Aaron?
Of course not. No, of course that's what I eat now.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you ever put a Greek yogurt on your burritos or your burrito bowls?
Oh, of course, yeah. Like you don't need. Yeah, you don't need to have sour cream because then you just have one thing in the fridge. You can use Greek yogurt for sour cream.
I'm totally with Aaron on this. We're a Greek yogurt family. Sour cream, you're out. Greek yogurt, you're on everything that sour cream goes on.
It's a natural substitute.
It's easy, yeah.
If I caught my kids putting sour cream on a pancake, they would be out of the house so fast. Disgusting. Get the fuck out of here. Is this how I raised you?
So the Greek yogurt is like a butter replacement.
No, it's no.
Russell, don't even try to think about this.
No, I wouldn't say it's a butter replacement.
He's going to mention that there's like some German pancake that does this or something. There's some fucked up shit.
Crepe.
I'm telling you, it's the cashier at Whole Foods who put me onto it. It's like a whipped cream. It's like if you were going to put whipped cream on top of your pancakes.
He was hitting
this is like more.
He was hitting on you.
Yeah, no, wait a minute. Now I'm thinking, hey, you want to show me how to put some sour cream on my pancake? Oh. Listen. I know one thing, and this is true of everybody I've ever met who worked at a grocery store. There's one thing that seemed to be common among all people who had a grocery store job. They got incredibly high all the time. Everybody I know who worked at the grocery store was always like, I was so high all the time. Like I'd be back in the freezer thing getting high. Ask somebody you know who works at a grocery store. I guarantee they're getting
I believe it.
blasted.
That totally makes sense.
I always look at the grocery store checkout person and I look and I go, can they scan me out faster than I can scan myself out? That's my big question. Can I self-scan quicker than they can scan?
Oh, I can never. Yeah, I can never self-scan because I'm like when I go, I'm doing the whole load, so I can't self-scan that fast.
Oh my God.
I got one other food take. This is a quick hot tip. I've been taking my dark meat chicken up close to like 195, 200. It works, man. Like I mean, like
dark meat chicken.
Really getting the dark meat chicken up higher.
Nice.
You get it starts to feel a lot better. Like the collagen breaks down, the connective stuff. So I watched a video. I've been feeling good about that. So that's my other tip.
It doesn't feel like you're eating slugs like normal dark meat tastes like.
Yeah, it firms up nice. Yeah, it comes off the bone real nice.
I used to work with a guy who he'd go out to eat and he'd get fried chicken, only dark meat. As the order. And I was like, well, that's so wild to me.
That's it. That's how it's rolling going with me. So how's it rolling going with Matt?
Good. A couple weeks ago, got back from Ireland. So we took a family trip.
A wee bit of a trip, huh, Matt?
I went to Ireland. I would say this, just as a PSA, it's a great spot for like a first time. It was our second time with our kids, but a first time going to Europe with a family.
Family trip.
Nice. You speak English.
Yeah.
Food's pretty normal. I mean, the real local stuff, I won't touch with the 10-foot pole, like the blood, or what is it? Black pudding. Is that what it is? Black
Man,
pudding?
I told somebody recently I ate blood sausage and they were like, that's fucking weird. They were like, what's the weirdest thing you ate? And then I was like, I kind of like blood sausage. And they were like, oh, I'm out.
We drove around everywhere. It's pretty easy to drive everything. You get used to it after a while. You got to drive on the left, but once you get used to it, get an automatic. Do not get a stick. Okay. I don't know, Rob. You said you got a stick when you were there and worked out fine, but
it was a stick on the left-hand side. It was crazy.
That's crazy. Terrifying.
Take some time while you're over there, but it's a great family trip for kind of a first time going over to Europe.
Can I ask something, Matt?
Yeah.
You sent some pictures and it looked like you had went to like a bar, did some like whiskey, drink some whiskey and stuff. So you got your kids. Do the kids come to the bar? Do they stay at the hotel? How does that work?
No, they can, but they're finally at the age, like we have not decided to throw ourselves off of the lifeboat and get a dog or anything like that. But they're finally at the time where they can, we just left them back in the room for a little bit.
They can manage themselves in the room.
Yeah, they can manage themselves.
Wow.
And
it's kind of liberating, right?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. So they just played video games while Sarah and I went out and had a beer and
that's fantastic.
Experienced the
And so how long were you guys gone for? Because it felt like you guys were gone for a while, and I was like, that seems like a long trip.
We were
with
10
some
days.
kids,
That's
right?
part of the reason we weren't able to record, because we were gone, and I think Rob was gone. We've had some scheduling issues here going on with some travel between the groups of us here. You had your conference, Russell, and now Aaron's going for his spring break. So yeah, we're trying to jam these things in here. The best thing about it is that you go through customs while you're leaving Ireland, so you don't have to do it when you get back. So when we got back, we actually flew through Boston, which was a whole other. It was.
How do you like
forever.
them apples?
Junk airport.
Layovers,
I
not
hate that
good.
airport.
Not good.
Did you find any
But then
candies?
we didn't have to go through customs when we got back, so we had a long trip back, and so it was great. But yeah,
Welcome back.
I don't know. I highly recommend Ireland, particularly as like a first trip over to Europe.
I was impressed
if you will.
with your kids being there. So like, if you go to Paris, you see the Eiffel Tower. Is there the thing in Ireland you have to do, or like, what's the thing that you got to bring your kids to when you're in Ireland?
Well, I mean, there's like the Cliffs of Moher, and there's like the Ring
You got a
of
great picture
Kerry,
there, yeah.
and there's castles everywhere, right? So you start going to some of the more famous castles if you want, things like that.
Amazing.
There's some it starts to get to be a little bit of an older person trip where there's like this Kylemore Abbey that we saw north of Galway and things like that. But it's really, I mean, for us, it was really, I don't know, like, you get out of the country and you realize that there's other people out there, right? And that you're not that important kind of thing. And when you get to an environment, and Rob, you probably just went through this in Costa Rica, right? Where you are the foreigner and you don't speak the language, or you speak very little of it, and you rely on people to be nice to you to kind of help you find the bathroom, or where is this, that kind of a thing. You realize, just being a little bit more empathetic towards people in your own life, daily life kind of a thing, and how it can be a struggle. It really is, I don't know, humbling's not really the word, but it really teaches you just to have a little bit of patience and kindness towards other people.
I also think a European family trip is like all conversation all the time, because you guys are all together all day. Yeah. You're locked in, but you're also eating like new food. You know what I mean? Like you're experiencing fun things. Like some of the best family times we've ever had have been on vacation. Because you're just not on your phone the whole time. You're not doing the same thing. You're all together all the time. You're all making decisions. It's great. I love it. Can I just say this, Matt? And I hate to interrupt your story. I'm buying some Boston baked beans for my wife to make amends. They offer you a subscribe and save for Boston baked beans. Okay.
But you're looking at the upscale Oregon Farm Fresh Boston. These are like upgraded. These are like,
I know, but look at the other Boston baked beans. Look how many there are. There's so many. The packages are so big. They're only $10, but there's way too many. You know what? 24 count box for $10.
Matt really is giving some of the best advice we've had in the podcast in weeks, a heartfelt discussion of what it means to be a stranger in a strange land and how we should all take that to heart. And Rob is shopping for Boston baked beans.
Not anymore. Shopped. I'm done.
So your kids are 11 and 8, 12 and 9, somewhere in there?
13 and 9.
So do they have like an appreciation for how cool of a trip? Like we never went on like European trips as kids.
No.
So I don't even know how to relate to that. Like, do they have an appreciation for that, or what do they think?
No, I don't think so. And we've talked about this, and Sarah went to Switzerland with her dad when she was 9.
Yeah.
But this is back in the late 80s, right? And everybody, she says, everybody still to this day thought he was nuts for bringing his daughter to Switzerland with him. Like, she's not going to remember all that stuff. And, half of it is, they're not going to remember all that much, right? And Sarah's a pretty good documentarian of our trips, if you guys follow her on Instagram and stuff like that. So they're going to have memories of it. But, half of it is just that, to what Rob said, is you're just the family time of it and just the experience of it. And I do think just getting out and experiencing other things as a younger person, amazing. I wish I would have done it. Right. I don't think I was on, I was on an airplane when I was 4, but I don't think I was on an airplane until I was 17 when we went to DC as like juniors in high school again, kind of a thing. We just didn't travel at all, and nothing wrong with it, but like it's just a whole different perspective.
Now, two things. Number one, does it piss you off when your kids are like, "Oh, I'd like to go to Paris," and you're like, "We've taken you to Paris 3 times, but you're too young." Yes, of course, that's no fun. But you do get your kids to love travel. Like my girl, remember last year, she went to Australia by herself for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
she loves
crazy.
traveling, and it's something you can do with them and travel and show them a good time and get your kids into traveling. Number 2, guys, you haven't yelled at your family till you're driving a car on the left-hand side of the fucking road with a stick shift. Okay? You think I'm a grouchy dad now? You should have seen me fucking on the left-hand side of the road. And these kids would ask me questions. I'd be like, don't ask me questions. And I'd say, put the radio on to a song I like. And they'd be like, I can't figure out the radio. How can you not figure out the radio? You're a 43-year-old doctor. I don't get how you can't forget the radio. I mean, guys, it is just the chance where you can yell at your family outside the normal bounds of where you are. It was great. I love traveling.
Russell, rolling going. How's it going with you?
Rolling going, guys. I have found my Zen place in life.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
We've talked about it before. It's at the fucking record store. I went back to the record store, Rob, hit the music.
He's in his Zen place.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Russell, do they like nod Steve away now?
Russell's gonna own a record store.
That's what, Matt, you were talking about. Flip the side, or what was the documentary last week? Flip
side. Yeah, flip side.
So the other day I was down, I was running some errands, and I told, it's about 2:30 or so in the afternoon, I told the upstairs roommate, I'm heading back. I might stop at one record store. I went to 2 record stores for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Whoa. Good for you. Good for you.
I went to No Name Records off Portland, Matt, and I got to be honest, I think it's a cool store, but they don't have what I'm looking for. They don't have.
They're a little, they're a little small. I don't know. They're a little lack of a product.
Hey, you got any records in here with topless chicks with a cat?
You know, my new rule is it's got to be on the top 500 list if I'm buying it. And they just don't really have that stuff. They got a lot of cool $1 and $2 ones. But Aaron, I apologize. I don't want to even admit this to you. I walked out and bought nothing.
Wait, that's fine.
Okay.
That's okay.
That is okay.
You're not, you
so I
owe
left,
them.
and then I went back to Cheapo, which we've talked about Cheapo before. It's huge. It's got all sorts of good used stuff, new stuff. And I thought I could share some of the stuff I purchased with you guys, if that's all right.
Please, Russell.
Here for it.
Everything I believe is on the list. Everything is on the list. I did not purchase the nudie one, Rob, or whatever that was. The touch my pee, or whatever that was.
So,
all right, first one on the list. Most of these are. I always try to get used ones. I feel like that's the point of going to the record store, right? Like if I want to buy new stuff, I could just buy it on Amazon or online, right?
Yes. Yeah,
I don't mind buying new from the record store.
You're right, Matt. So most of mine I got are used, but I did get some new ones. I think this is the biggest haul I've ever had. I think it's the best haul I've ever had. I'm going to walk you guys through.
Wow.
First one is pronounced Leonard Skinnard. It's Leonard Skinnard, which I believe is in the 400s, if you guys can see that one.
Man.
Yeah.
That's a
you know
fun
what I
album
learned?
cover.
What I learned from Flipside, there was an album cover with that sold about a week before that one. Now that's the one everybody knows. There's one that that same walking thing, but a big flame in the background. But whoever the guy died in the plane crash, they thought this is not a good look having this big flame in the back. So if you ever see that cover, Russell, with the big flame, you should buy that one.
The back cover on this one was even right up Rob's alley. It's just a big pack of cigarettes.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Oh,
Check out some of the songs on this one. I picked this up for $3.
Can I just say something? We don't need to say that's right up my alley. Okay, it's not really cigarette. I think a cigarette is not.
Hey, we'll just insinuate it like Rosie's foot fetish. We'll just insinuate
It's
it.
not up my alley. It's not like I see cigarettes. I'm like, well, that's up my alley.
You've smoked more cigarettes in our Las Vegas trip than I think Matt, Aaron, and I have combined in our lives.
First of all,
Well, I'm at
join.
like 2.5 cigarettes in my life. So yes,
I can't keep up with Rob and Peter though. I cannot. There are times where I have to skip them.
guys, they're so
Pete
good.
from St. Paul, he hammers those.
They can nail it.
Check out some of the songs on this album. Tuesday's Gone, Give Me 3 Steps, Simple Man, and Freebird.
Wow.
That is a killer,
album.
is it not?
That's a good one.
Great album.
Next album I picked up on the list. The album this was $15.90 used. It's The Band. The Band.
Wow, the Brown album.
Yeah.
The Brown album, which features one
100th
of my
episode.
favorites, the greatest tuba song ever, Rag Mama Rag.
Yeah.
You guys remember that
Very
one?
nice.
Yes.
Up on Cripple Creek.
That's a killer
I'm
album.
going to tell you guys
Good.
one of the ones that I got excited on. This would not have been on the list, but this is one where they got the names. I'm flipping through. I see Chumbawamba. I'm like, oh
What?
my gosh.
Chumbawamba.
No.
Yeah.
They had it, but they didn't have anything in the section. It just had the name. It was like a complete cock tease for Chumbawamba.
Wow, they're trying to give you a Chumbawamba. They're trying to give you a Chumba, and you open it up, there's no Wamba.
And then you ended up with a Wamba.
Mini Chumba.
Aaron or Matt, maybe you guys can explain this. Some of these have fair, fine. They rate them. They tell you like what condition it's in. Like, do you ever, like Aaron, if you see the ones that say fair, that they're the $3 ones, do you stay away or do you go anyways?
You go if you like the music, but you just assume there's going to be some surface noise on it. You just know it's never going to sound like pristine. But if you like the,
Next one on the list, I got $9.90. It's Elvis, the Sun Sessions. I had to get it, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
Next one, Matt's going to be upset with me. I $4.20 in fair condition. There were 2 of them there. I was going to get one for you, Matt, but I don't think you would like it. It's Kiss Alive.
Oh, is that on the list?
It's on the list. It is on the list.
You
Matt.
wanted the best. You got the best.
If it's on the list, Russell, that's fine. But otherwise, let's see.
Russell,
where's
I think
Kiss?
it's fun.
Alive. Yep, 305 on the list.
On the list. Trust me, I'm the guy like scrolling through my phone looking to see if these are all on the list.
Yeah.
The next one, I don't think we've ever talked about this band. It's in good condition at $14.90. It's the Cars.
Oh,
yeah. Rick Ocasek. There's how many times did I hear songs off that album? I can't believe we haven't had a Cars album yet, by the way.
That album has a lot of
353.
That one has
Next one, in good condition, $11.90. Aaron, I thought of your dad when I saw this one. It's Eagles Hotel California.
I mean, he's an Eagles fan, no doubt.
It's an all-timer, right? Isn't that one of the best-selling albums ever?
Top 5 selling albums of all time.
When you buy the band and the Eagles, and then you go over to the Chumbawamba section, and you go, fuck. The guy must just be like, what is this guy doing?
What is he all about?
Who is this? Who is this weird pervert who's looking at stuff on his phone every time between the records?
Next one on the list is another used one, Matt. This one I was thinking about you. It's the Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed. Isn't this one on the top 20 somewhere in there?
Yep, that's up there.
That one's so good.
All right. The last 3 are all the new records. I purchased 3 new records. I wanted to share those with you guys. You guys know I picked up Joni Mitchell a few weeks back, number 3 on the list. I had to get number 2 on the list. It's Beach Boys' Pet Sounds.
Yes.
All right, which one is that now? Is it what does the inside look like?
I haven't.
Is it
it's
just
wrapped, man. I haven't even opened.
Okay,
it yet.
is it thick or is it the Target one where it's just one sleeve on either
feels
side of the
thin.
album?
So did I get the wrong one?
Well, no, you didn't because there's so many remakes of it. But I am on the hunt for like an original version. If you ever see it, whatever condition kind of a thing.
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? But
I know
no,
what you're
just to
saying.
have it, you got to have it. I listen to that one on the record player more than I listen to most because it's such a great,
The fun
sound.
record album. I totally get that.
All right, next one on the list that I picked up new. I think this one's coming up on the list soon. I saw it. I actually went out and I sought this one out in the country section. They have a lot of country albums at Cheapo. I got Willie Nelson, Redheaded Stranger.
That's coming up real soon. That's a
237. So that's
Russell,
next month or so.
I had a deluxe edition CD, so I don't even know where the real album ends. What's the last track?
Aaron, there's a lot of cursive writing on the back, so I can't tell any of the track names, unfortunately.
Because the CD I had, I was never sure what was bonus material and what was the real album.
I will say when you get out of 3 hours of record store just fumbling through records, your clothes has a certain smell. I don't know if it's incense or whatever it is.
Bandera.
But yeah, I needed a cleaning when I was done. But the last one on the list, and I was looking for this one because I knew it was coming up. They didn't have Giant Step by Step, but I did get a Love Supreme by John Coltrane. I figured I needed some. They have a ton of jazz albums. And then when I was looking through, I was like, it's either this or Miles, Aaron. And this was the one I went with. I remember when we talked John Coltrane before and all the cool quotes. I remember Flea and all these other people talking about John Coltrane.
Love Supreme.
And you talked about how Love Supreme for you is such a big deal. And I was like, I have to have a Love Supreme in my collection. Do I not?
You won't go wrong. You won't regret it.
Tell you, I just listened to our Love Supreme episode on the podcast. It is the one where I cancel my credit card after getting so viciously scammed at the karaoke bar.
Russell, let me ask you about that one. Is that a thin one or is that like a thick?
It's thicker than the other one I talked about, but it doesn't feel like an original, if that's what you're asking.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like you guys could be working at the foot store, talking about feet too. fell apart when I realized there's no such thing as a foot store, and it's just something I dreamed about.
So confused.
What I was going to share with you guys is there is something relaxing about going to a record store by yourself. There, you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to be home. You can just kind of fumble through records mindlessly, and
nobody's staring at you like, "Can we go yet?
Yeah.
Can we go yet?"
Every 10 minutes or so, you come across something. You're like, "Man, maybe that's the one I should get." And you put some back. You get
For the
some.
record, that was my kids.
Yeah.
That was
All
my
right.
kids. Can we go yet?
But I was like,
Can we
that
go
is an
yet?
amazing haul of legendary music, is it not?
Oh, that's a great
Very
one.
nice. If you're going to No Name, you got to swing by Roadrunner Records at some point.
Matt, the one thing I will say about Roadrunner, and this would be if I know the one you're talking about, Roadrunner is a very narrow store.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so for guys like Rob and I, walking through a very narrow store of records can mean like a lot of maneuvering by people.
Okay, so you've been there. I just wanted to make sure you've been there to
I think it's a
experience
great store. It's just not conducive to myself.
Yeah.
Russell, on the camera just now, I turned sideways to show you how I could easily fit through a thin record store. And I got depressed with what I look like sideways. I was like, oh, like my body is thicker than my head. I don't think that's normal. I think my head should be sticking out farther than my body.
Speaking of being depressed, roll and going, Rob, how's it going with you?
Going to Costa Rica.
Sorry. Aaron texted me that one earlier, Rob. I apologize.
I go to Costa Rica. Couple of missteps to start the trip, right? Tell the
I was going to ask you about this. I forgot.
I tell the students, hey, and because some of the moms are there too. I tell the students, hey, get out your pass.
How many moms?
Get out your passports.
These are wealthy New York City moms.
Show them to me, okay? Because I want to make sure that I have your passport, not your siblings. I said like mine, and I opened mine up, and it's Amelia's. I go. So we're at school. The bus is there to take us to the airport. I now have my kid's passport and not my own. So in front of all the parents,
you got to be a real idiot.
I am with my bag. I am on a biking home as fast as I can. I call my wife.
God,
please, can you meet me at the train station? Bring the passport. I got to get an Uber down to Newark. It's like an hour away. She goes, I'm so busy. So I come home. She's bench pressing. She's bench pressing at home. The disrespect. So I now have to take a $110 Uber to the airport to meet everybody there. But you know what, Russell? It was sweet being alone. God, that was a nice part of that trip. Oh, that was like my vacation.
Throw some headphones in.
That's incredible you made it. Like you guys must have been there way early.
Well,
Were you planning on being
3.5 hours early for a school trip.
So you've talked before, though, about your spouse causing travel problems, Rob. I feel like you are half the problem.
I had the same thought. It's almost like someone talking about someone else's foot fetish, but it turns out maybe
I'm not half the
problem.
How do you make it that far without the rape? I'm a triple check everything guy. I'm not making it to the airport without what I need, without my ID.
I was proud that I had brought my passport. I just grabbed the wrong one, Russell. It happens, okay? It's not a big deal. I fixed it. But there was a problem later on the trip. So we get to the trip, and the woman goes, okay, everybody, tomorrow we've got a big hike, so make sure your water bottles are all filled and that you brought your electrolytes from the packing list. Oh, and wear a hat. That was also on the packing list. I'm not reading a packing list before I go on a
Rob
trip.
doesn't own a hat.
I am a teacher. I am in charge of the trip.
He doesn't even own a hat.
I'm not, first of all, I'm never going to wear a hat. Okay, burn this shit off. I don't care. I am not going to read a packing list. I am not going to look to see what these people tell me to bring. I'll bring what I want, deal with it. Now, this caused a number of issues. Number one, not having a water bottle, very bad. Okay. Had to stop at a grocery store and buy water bottles. Embarrassing. Number two, don't have any electrolytes. Guess what? I don't need electrolytes. I'm a world fucking champion, almost powerlifter. Okay.
You're a lot stronger than people think, Rob.
Don't need a lot of long pants. I'm in Costa Rica. It's the jungle. Why would I need long pants? Okay, so it turns out every day we hiked, we needed to have long pants on because of fire ants. I brought one pair of long linen pants.
Linen pants?
We're so dirty by the end. I washed them in my sink. The water turned black. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Linen pants. I don't even know I don't even know what linen pants are.
Russell, when you're me,
don't get us those pants. Can you go pull those pants up? Let's see what those are.
Is it like a drawstring on them or not?
Where are those
they've
things
got a drawstring on them. Well, here, I'll show you a picture of me and him later because I got a picture.
Oh my God.
So we go there. Now we're 5,000 feet up over sea level. We start this hike. Within the first 100 yards, I realized there's a problem. There is a problem. And the problem is my body. Okay. More specifically,
Chafing? Is it chafing?
more specifically, no, my hamstrings. I'm like, my hamstrings are not hiking hamstrings right now.
They're squatting hamstrings.
They are world
This
champions
is
squatting.
like this is like trying to turn a Ferrari into a taco truck. You know what I mean? Like, I can't do the work. I am for show. So we're walking up this big hill, and I'm like, and of course I'm with a bunch of high school boys. So they're fucking flying. They're just like running. They're running, and I got to get up there because as soon as they get to the top, they're just going to start throwing rocks. And I got to be like, don't throw rocks. Don't throw
Every
rocks.
time you've gone into the weight room and probably showed these kids up and started lifting, like this is their get back at you.
Yeah, it's their vengeance.
Mr. Rob can't even walk up a hill.
Giddy up, Mr. Let's go. Oh,
They say to us, hey, this first hill is the hardest part.
No.
Oh, okay. They were wrong. They lied. Just like every hiker of all time. Oh, it's a short hike. It'll be no problem. This is the hardest part. Hikers love to lie all the time.
Yeah.
Halfway through the hike, 2.5 hours out, I start to cramp up really bad. And my hamstrings start going every step. I can feel this little bite of my hamstrings.
The person says, hey, just take some of those electrolytes.
Fucking cloud forest. It's not even a rainforest because it's too high up on a mountain. I'm in a cloud forest with high school boys, hamstrings cramping up. We sit down for lunch. Finally, I barely make it. My hamstrings are like, I've drank all my water. I've drank the water of the teacher that I'm with, and my hamstrings are terrible. No electrolytes, Russell. This turned out to be quite a large mistake.
He's a world champion.
The lunch on a banana leaf, a classic Costa Rican dish. I'm eating it. The head tour guide looks at me and goes, "Whoa, you do not look good." And I was like, "Oh, that is not what I wanted to hear right now." You know what I mean? When you think like,
you sound like my mother.
I feel awful, but it's inside, and outside I look like a stoic man. I am a 28-year-old man, like I remember myself. I am.
And your students can't unsee this.
And the guy says, "Wow, you look bad." Okay, now let's see if I have a picture
Oh my God.
from that.
Demoralizing.
Okay, I look rough.
This is why he needs 2 weeks of spring break.
Were you expecting this, Rob, or not?
No, I barely make it back to the end of the hike. As soon as I do, the kids go into a classroom to do some bullshit. I don't know. I wasn't really listening. Plus, by the way, whole trip is in Spanish. I don't speak any Spanish. Every tour, I was like, I don't know what they're talking about. They're talking about sloths. I was like, we be in. Both hamstrings cramp up. I have to lie on the ground and just roll around. And my co-teacher is stretching me. Look at me in my black linen pants, getting stretched on the ground by a 62-year-old Spanish teacher that did the same hike I just did and is doing just fine.
You have to post this on the
Rolling
Instagram.
on the ground. Guys,
You have
I am crying. I am saying nasty things. If I would have seen this guy take this picture, I would have fucking killed him with my bare hands. I was in such a bad fucking mood.
You never would have caught him.
The only way the cramping will stop is if I walk slowly. But when I walk slowly, the front of my legs now start to cramp. So now my hamstrings are cramped. My quads start to cramp. And finally, our tour leader, who, by the way, has been sidelined all day.
I hope they send you home.
With absolute mind-bending diarrhea. She has not been able to leave her room. She has now had to do a 15-minute hike to come bring me Pedialyte. I immediately drink it. She goes, "Well, did you bring any electrolytes?" And I'm like, "I didn't bring any electrolytes. I didn't think I needed any." She was like, "Jesus Christ, you were out there with the..." And I'm just like, I'm on the ground. I'm yelling. I'm crying. I have to not do any activities that night. And I laid in bed. And every once in a while, my legs would just cramp up. So I'm eating all the salty chips.
No.
I'm doing whatever I can.
I have a question about this.
You know what I still tried to do right before bed?
Crank one.
I tried to jack off. I immediately got a hamstring cramp, and I was like, "Oh, what am I thinking? Why would I do that today?" So anyway, that's my Costa Rica story.
So did
Very
the
fun.
students know? Did the students see you laying on the ground?
No, because they said, "Oh yeah, your hamstrings seem a little sore." Oh yeah, a little bit. Now, that same teacher who stretched me out and didn't take pictures of me later in the trip fell off a kayak Flatwater. Immediately
So
got my
all of-
camera out, took a ton of pictures of him,
Oh,
made fun of him for the whole trip. That 62-year-old Spanish teacher, I got his ass when he fell out of a kayak. Oh my God.
So it was either balance issues, stomach issues, or cramping issues for all of you guys.
Yeah, pretty much. It was, I'm telling you, I've never had a cramp like that. It was absolutely brutal. All right, we ready to talk about the album?
It's time for Nobody's
Yes.
Can we do everybody?
the show. Let's talk about the album.
Aaron's yawning.
Can I tell you guys,
Sorry.
I have changed my view where you guys are now really big on my screen. And I can't, my notes are up here. This is fucking me. I don't do that, Aaron. No, you're so big when you move so close like that. Oh my God, your breath smells like Greek yogurt and peanut butter. So,
was that this episode?
yes, that
Yes,
was.
it was.
That's how fucked this episode is. People are still recovering. People are probably just tuning back in after pushing 15-second skip up top. So, John Coltrane, he's kicked out of Miles Davis's band for doing too many drugs. Can you imagine?
Right.
Again, I'll
Yeah,
say it again.
So many drugs.
To get kicked out of a jazz band, for a jazz band to be
in 1959 or 1958
this guy's
or whatever.
fucking
it
on
was.
some weird ass shit.
He probably
Okay.
would have been fine if you had some Pedialyte to get him through the night.
Yes.
When was he born?
Fuck. God damn it. John Coltrane.
1926.
John Coltrane, born
Hamlet,
in
North Carolina.
1926.
Same year as Blanche from the Golden Girls.
We last heard John Coltrane with A Love Supreme.
Blanche was 34.
And also, which came up right before this, Miles Davis kicks out John Coltrane for doing too many drugs, which again, totally insane. He then goes on to play with Count Basie. He does Kind of Blue with Miles Davis. Then 2 weeks later, he gets done recording Kind of Blue. He goes out and he records most of this album. This album in Kind of Blue was literally like a 2-week span of John Coltrane's life. It's crazy. We got the bassist Paul Chambers, pianist Tommy Flanagan, and drummer Art Taylor on most of these. He could barely be persuaded to go on a European tour with Miles Davis after this. Like he just didn't want, I don't know what he didn't want to go out there and be super famous. It's almost like he was obsessed with like jazz and how it works and being able to change it. I mean, am I wrong about that, Aaron?
No, he's yeah. I mean, just very famously would go into whatever room in his house and practice for hours and hours and hours, and he would just play his horn. So very famously, he was just devoted to the music, and at this period of his life was thinking a lot. I think working a lot with harmonic changes, which we hear in Giant Steps, and then working sheets of sound, and then this is kind of the beginning of the end of that era where he then starts exploring different, more spiritual jazz, modal jazz, fewer harmonic changes.
Hey, we understand all that shit you were just saying. Now, listen, when you hear this first song,
I don't get it though. Like, I mean, you read about this stuff and it's like, oh, there's 26 chord changes in Giant Steps. I don't hear all of them. Like, I've read that and I know that it exists. I don't hear it.
you know what? I'm going to show you something, Aaron. Just wait. I'm going to show you something. So check us out. Giant Steps, of course, Russell, we all know this as the song that Aaron says has the best start of any song of all time.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, because you gotta set the needle down far enough on that lead part of the groove, and then you gotta get yourself into your chair and be ready. It fucking goes.
There are 26 chords in each 16-bar chorus. Okay? There are no live versions of the song. He never performed the song live. And basically, this is what Coltrane got really famous for, is these third chord changes that became known as Coltrane changes. And basically, Giant Steps, Russell, became such a famous jazz song that this is now like, if you're going into a jazz conservatory, say, this is what you would play for the judges to let them see if you're actually like a real jazz musician. Basically, every jazz musician has to learn the song.
It's like
We're
cooking
making an omelet, right?
It's like cooking soup or an
Exactly.
omelet for a chef.
Yeah.
Like that's the true sign
And
of
it's
a true
crazy.
chef.
I want to show you guys something real quick, and I got to reorganize my screens a little bit. If we go to the Beck Did It Better TikTok, okay, and don't look at any of the bookmarks or whatever, okay? It's not a big deal. And here's what it looks like, Russell, the chord changes. Check this out, Aaron. Here's what it looks like. So every time this pentagon switches, it's changing chords.
Yeah.
And so this is a notoriously hard song to play because it's just so fast. There's so many chord changes. And apparently this is something that Coltrane had worked on, for months. And he comes into the studio and he says to the piano player, here's some music we're going to do. get ready to play this. So the piano player looks at it and says, oh, this must be a ballad, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. John Coltrane is playing this as fast as shit.
Yeah.
The piano player famously, Tommy Flanagan, he's a very good piano player. He totally goes crazy on the solo. He basically bails, and at the end, he's just playing chords. Listen to this piano solo. It's a disaster. And when you look this up, this is all anybody talks about. Like, this is what this guy is known for.
Maybe this is going to be very embarrassing. I'm going to say it anyways. It's the Charlie Brown fan in me. I love the piano on this album. When the piano kicks in, I really enjoy it.
That's not embarrassing at all. It's like there's only 4 instruments on the album, so
yeah. The piano. I don't know what's considered the best. I don't know what gets the most. What drives the value on the album? I love the piano.
That's great, man. I don't know Tommy Flanagan's work otherwise. I don't think he's I don't think he's like listed in your top 5 jazz pianists on any, websites, but good enough to play with Coltrane for multiple albums. So,
well, when you look up that song, I looked up the BPM of that song, Aaron. It's a 300 BPM song. And you know what that got me thinking about?
How many BPMs?
Hiking up the Costa Rica mountain?
No, I'll never think about that again. One of the most embarrassing times of my life where I realized I'm just a mortal man. I'm thinking about what are the fastest songs of all time, Russell.
It's time.
And I made a list.
Oh.
Now, I'm just going to tell you right now.
We have done the fastest raps ever.
I know, because that came up a lot.
Oh. Twister.
You're not going to like any of these songs. None of these songs sound good. Okay? In fact, there's one exception. Through the Fire and Flames. Now remember, Giant Steps is 300 beats per minute. This is only 200. It's most famous for its guitar solo by Dragon Force.
Whoa.
Because it's on Rock Band. It's a very hard solo to do. This is the best song you're going to hear on this list by a factor of 1,000. I'm just going to say that right now because what I'm about to show you is even worse. The most fast single ever released was released by Moby. It's called 1,000 because guess what its BPM is, Aaron?
1,000.
1,000. It's 1,000 beats per minute, but it's kind of cheap because it speeds up. Listen to this. So I don't think you can say it's a BPM of 1,000 if it only speeds up to 1,000, right?
If it's just a thumping sound,
it just sounds like noise. I'm not sure. This is off the list.
This is the second best song you're going to hear on this list, by the way. I just want to say that.
This is hurting my head.
Okay, well then you're really not going to like these, right? Because next up, we basically get in the early 90s, coming out of Denmark, we get stuff called, it basically speedcore. And they think one of the first speedcore songs ever was by the Leathernecks called At War, okay? This has a BPM of 225. Oh, wait. Sorry. Right? This song leads into true speedcore. Now, this is a speedcore song. It's out of Australia. It's called I Eat Shit. It's by Passenger of Shit. Listen, a lot of these speedcore bands, they're just doing stuff, okay? Listen to this. This is like 300 beats per minute. The same as Giant Steps.
Stop. I don't want to ever hear this again and say the same as Giant Steps. I don't care what category you're putting it in. It can't happen. It can't happen.
Okay, I will not do that anymore. Actually, but that also gave rise to horrorcore, or in Japan to J-core. Now listen to J-core. I would kind of like J-core. Very fast Japanese music.
Check it out.
This is a song I can't pronounce because I don't read Japanese. But basically,
at least I can hear the difference here. The other stuff was too... You can at least hear how this is going fast. The other ones I couldn't even hear.
This kind of bops, doesn't it?
When and where would someone listen to this?
J-core, you cannot find it online because most people only sell it on CDs. You have to buy it on CDs. It's like a super underground. And finally, that led to the newest kind of speedcore in 1994, something called extra tone. Extra tone, Russell, is when the beat is so fast, it just becomes a tone that you hear. Like it becomes like megahertz. Okay, listen to this. This is called 1.2 billion BPM mix. And it just gets faster and faster until it becomes a tone.
The size bite is probably pretty cool.
Yeah.
And that was the list of the fastest songs.
Rob, play one song for me. Play one song for me on from your list. King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. I think we've heard this one time before.
Yes.
Called The Dripping Tap.
Oh, yeah. I like that one.
This is what I think of when I think of like fast songs. It's like 18-minute songs. You got to find
Dripping Tap. Oof, didn't spell anything right, but guess what? Still brought it up.
Look at that.
Oh, thank you, Google AI.
Why was that purple?
Big tip. Yeah, that's fast.
There's some time.
I mean, like this is like, you know, like this is like an 18-minute song and it's great. King Gizzard, Lizard Wizard, awesome band. Like this is about as fast as I could deal with. You know, where it's actually like an actual song.
Oh, now, man, if you think I didn't think about not doing that list like 3 times because I listened to all the music and I was like, I hate all this, and Russell's going to hate it 10 times more.
Listen to some of these other. So if you Google just like fastest pop songs,
Yeah.
Here's some I would have never guessed. American Woman, Lenny Kravitz, 170.
Yeah.
Pull that up. Is that fast?
He played it faster than the Guess Who.
Yeah.
They're counting the.
There's a lot of space in there, though. There's not a driving beat
Yeah.
necessarily.
I can tell you, too, looking up BPMs of songs is hard, Russell, because you can just half it, double
Isn't
it.
it like it had Aerosmith Living on the Edge? Maybe there's parts of the song that I don't know are fast, but some of the fast songs, like the pop songs that I would know I would have never thought were
It
fast.
kind of depends on how you subdivide, too. I mean, beats, I don't know. Yeah, like what is a beat?
Hey,
What is
here's
truth?
one that I think is fast that Matt would like. 160 beats per minute. Hey Ya by Outkast. Pull that one.
Oh, yeah, that's
Ooh,
fast.
that's a good.
That's
a good
fast, right?
Yeah, that's
I think you got it. Oh, I think you got it.
That's
right?
for sure fast. If you've ever tried to play this on guitar, it is very fast. I think I'll stick to my J chord. Thank you very much.
J chord.
Okay. Now,
Did you guys see that? I texted you the other day that Andre 3000 is like 2 years older than Kanye.
Yeah.
Does that seem weird?
Yeah.
that's weird.
Right, they
What
feel
would
like
you
He's
they're
have
only 2
thought?
years older than
generation,
Kanye.
You would have thought he was way older.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would have.
Different
Yeah.
generations, right?
Cousin Mary. You'll never guess what this song was titled for, Russell.
What is that?
His grandma.
His Cousin Mary. Okay, otherwise known in million of adults' phone as the number you give your weed dealer. You know what I mean? Like if you're 45 and you've got a Mary in your phone, there's a good chance that's a weed dealer.
This is what I was wondering. I was listening to this one in my car on the way home tonight. Like, how do they get like inspiration for the names of these songs? And
Yeah, this one, I mean, he had a cousin, Mary, who it was dedicated to her. So actually, a lot of this album is very personal.
so is it dedication, or is there something in like the beat or something that reminds them of the person?
that's a good
Or how does that work?
I don't know. I've not read anything to know whether this is like inspired by her personality or something. I mean, Naima is like pretty clearly a love song, right? And so that one makes sense.
Can I ask you another question, Aaron?
Yeah.
So I'm not like, when you're not a jazz expert, you don't really know what's good jazz, what's not good jazz, you know, right?
Yeah.
When you hear, like, if you're, let's say you're at a jazz bar and you hear this,
Yeah.
you know this is Coltrane and it's this song or not? Like, if you heard this, do you know this is Aunt Mary or whatever the name of the song?
No, I never remember the names of the tracks on this album, but I mean, I've listened to Giant Steps enough that I know all
You
of
would
the
know
songs.
it's part of Giant Steps.
Probably. Yeah.
I think I have been. The one mission I have in listening to this is trying to understand jazz just a little bit. You know, so I have listened to I've got on my iHeart app, Rosie, I've got your San Francisco jazz station.
Oh, yeah, KCSM.
That I listen to on Sunday mornings when I'm reading the paper.
That's nice.
You know, just what is it called? What's the station?
KCSM.
KCSM. I have it, you know, so I can just pull it up and put it on there.
Yep.
You know, and I'm finally starting to I'm probably at like 102, you know, if like 101's like the very basics. Like you can start to actually hear like what decent jazz is. And I feel like Coltrane has a form. if you will.
Yeah.
And some of these guys have different forms. And I'm finally getting to the point where maybe I get just a little bit of like, ooh, that sounds like a little bit of Coltrane, or at least that's from the 60s, or that's from the 70s, or that's from the 40s kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. I think if you don't play these instruments, you don't know, or you're not in like a music kind of setting, you don't understand like what they're doing and how they're, I'm finally kind of getting the level changes and everything circles back kind of a deal, and there's like a theme, and it's taken a very long time for my very uneducated ear to finally kind of catch up to it, but it's getting to a point finally of where I'm like trying to appreciate different levels and not just hearing noise, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally does. I mean, I don't understand it all either. Like I said, like harmonically, I don't get what's going on. But I've heard this particular album enough that I know what's what.
You know who would know harmonically is John Popper. God, he had like 50 of those fucking things.
He lost so much weight, he's only down to like 40, though. He can't only carry so much.
I can't hold all these harmonicas. I'm too thin.
Speaking of them,
Yeah.
you guys know I was talking about going to Red Rock.
Yeah.
One of the options that just popped up, there's new acts that keep coming up. One is Beck is performing with some orchestra out there this summer.
Well, he's doing a lot of orchestra stuff lately,
So I'm asking that, but I saw it's like a July 4th show, and the main act is Blues Traveler.
Oh, go.
That's fun,
Very
man.
nice.
Gotta go. So fun. You know what I appreciate about this album? Some of these songs are like this one. This is a 2-minute and 25-second song.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. Like, listen to him go here. I saw somebody say this must have scared the shit out of the other saxophone players at the time.
Yeah.
To hear this,
Yeah.
you're just like,
I mean,
what the fuck?
He's famous for woodshedding, right? So taking your horn to the woodshed and just playing. And like this one, Giant Steps, they sound like stuff that he would have just been working on. Like these are like studied type pieces.
When you hear the piano come in, and you can tell none of these players know what this was going to be. I mean, listen to them come in. You can tell they're like, is this what the song is going to be? Like,
Right.
listen to this.
It's almost like he's done it so often, or it's like part of some like warm up or something that he's then turned into a song because it's so ingrained into what he does.
It's like Sweet Child of Mine, you know, or like Thunderstruck, of those famous songs where they're just warm ups.
Can other people can a professional jazz musician play it like this, Aaron, or not?
Like I mean, yes. I mean, there are other. I mean, yes, there are other saxophonists who could play this piece. I'm sure. I can't name any. I don't know any current ones well enough to know who would be able to do it. But yeah, there are others who could do that.
Gotcha.
This song I did recognize, Spiral. It's a pretty famous one.
Speaking of jazz clubs, I'll make a few recommendations. If you ever go out to visit Aaron in the Bay Area, we went to the Dawn Club
That's
a few
right.
years ago, and it was fantastic. Super cool vibe.
I still haven't
highly
been,
recommend
actually.
it. And then I would also, we've talked about it before, Matt and I still need to go sometime. It's the Berlin Jazz Club in the North Loop. I would highly recommend that one
is
as well.
always talked about on the Reddit forums as one of the top ones to go to around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you go hear something live today, you're not going to hear someone of Coltrane's caliber, but like, there's tons of talented folks out there who can play this stuff.
I want to see what you guys think. I know we'll get to this in the rating system. It's really hard to put an album like this, like in context of the other
Right.
pop albums we
Yeah, makes
listen
no
to.
sense. No,
You
makes
listen,
no
you're
sense.
like, okay, other than like maybe Aretha with her voice, there's maybe a handful of people that have the same level of talent as this, but it's so hard to compare it, right?
Yeah,
It is.
Like it feels like
we have
there
to.
should be Coltrane on the list, so you got to put it somewhere, and things like that. But I don't know.
I think things like Love Supreme and Giant Steps are on there because a lot of rock musicians and other soul musicians listen to it. Because I think if you were going to make a list of the best jazz albums, you might have something else in between Kind of Blue, Love Supreme, and Giant Steps. You'd have some other stuff in there. Those wouldn't be the
Give me
top
some
three.
Chick
I don't-
Corea on the piano, damn it.
Right.
You know, this was originally like 103 on the list. This has gotten bumped way back.
Okay.
Way back.
Yeah.
It is. Don't. I'm going to ask you a question, and don't make it think about whether or not this whole podcast is built on a very stupid premise. Who's better, John Coltrane or Garth Brooks? Like the question itself is so dumb it boggles the mind. Like if you really think about it, you're like, this is the dumbest fucking question.
Who's got a greater album?
Yeah, like I don't want to hear John Coltrane sing "Friends in Low Places."
I didn't do the cocktail for this one, but I did look, and Booze and Vinyl 2, John Coltrane, A Love Supreme was in Booze and Vinyl 2. Cocktails were way too complicated for me to make, probably just like his music for me to understand. But I was looking and I was curious, when do you guys think is the perfect time to listen to John Coltrane?
I put it on like in two different phases of life. Sunday mornings,
Yes.
when I'm reading the paper, got pancakes done and bacon done. Kids are off doing their own thing. And I get to sit and read the Wall Street Journal. So I put on, usually it's Alexa, play Coltrane. I'm going to play right now. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. You know, things like that. Or it's at work when I need something. It's usually more of a pick-me-up kind of a thing. Like, so I put an album on like this that just has something in the background to drown out other noise, if that makes sense. That's when I listen to a lot of the jazz.
Aaron, how about you? When do you listen to jazz?
For me, it's morning for sure, and then it's end of the night. I mean, lately I read at night, so I don't put on jazz as much. Or it's it's been a while now, but I don't like the Warriors home announcers. They're terrible, so I like to watch the Warriors and turn off the sound and play jazz.
Oh, God, that sounds fun, Aaron. I would fucking give a nut right now to come do that with you. That sounds like such a good time. Can you imagine you're sitting with Aaron?
Go back, have a cigarette in between quarters. Oh,
not my thing, first of all, but yeah, that also would be cool to do. Okay.
No, it's Aaron's thing, and you're at his house, so you have to have one, right?
Right. Wow. I thought I'd have some peace and quiet outside. There's a fucking dog out here the whole time. Jesus Christ.
2 dogs.
Yeah. Aaron can't watch the whole game. He's got to go walk the goddamn dog.
Booze and Vinyl did recommend John Coltrane. I think you guys were on the right track. They said brunch time. It's the perfect thing to listen while you're making eggs or something like that in the morning on a Sunday. So.
I'll play, when I'll play at Russell's, if I'm having the kids do a lab, where they're just sitting there, I'll put on bebop radio, or I'll put on some Bossa Nova sometimes. But yeah, and I'll tell you what, when your boss walks by and the kids are doing a lab and you're like looking at them like this and there's jazz on, they're like, God damn, this guy is smart. And meanwhile, I'm like looking at Instagram, watching like 2 women kiss each other. I'm like, yes.
You're like cramping up because you didn't have your Pedialyte from the hike before.
Oh, don't say that.
Did the administration find out about like your physical issues on this trip? Like, are you not allowed to go next year?
Well, yeah, there was a form where they're like, please list all medications. I was like, nah, won't be doing that. They don't need to see all that. I'm good. Okay.
Don't worry, I'm a specimen.
Yes. Excuse me, I'm almost a world champion.
Don't worry, I'm a limo driver.
Yada's song
Also,
flutes.
I gotta ask. I have to ask. Rob's had to go to the bathroom a few times. I didn't realize he went to the bathroom the last time. Now he mentioned it. Now I realize what he's doing. You're not even like standing in the bathroom. How are you?
It is kind of weird.
Going to the bathroom from where you're standing.
Well, first of all, I got to keep my headphones plugged in. Okay, so I can't like close the door or do anything like that. I'm in the bathroom peeing into a toilet.
No, you're
you
not.
think I'm in the hallway?
You're standing in the doorway.
Feels like you got 1 foot in the hallway.
Yeah, you have one. It looked like half your body was in the hallway.
Listen, when you live in a New York apartment, you can pee with 1 foot in the hallway. It's not that hard to do.
Oh,
okay. Don't worry about it. Now, okay, fine. Next time I'll get all the way in the bathroom.
I think this is a song that is not a great example of great jazz in my mind. I mean, someone who knows jazz better than me, would feel differently. It's just like kind of flippant and like fun and cute to me, and I don't know that for me it would be a top 3 jazz album of all time. I mean, it is because of Giant Steps and Naima.
Guarladardi Trio. That's damn sure, right?
I mean, there's I think Mingus is probably a better album than this. I think there's stuff that might be better. Yeah.
Naima
and Coltrane's my favorite. I love Coltrane.
This was actually with a different session, different musicians, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, and Jimmy Cobb.
Yeah, Jimmy Cobb just did you can barely hear him. He does the brushwork on the drums.
This song pops up and every time I'd say, just play Coltrane, this one's usually a top 5.
Yeah, I mean,
Matt, have any jazz songs made it into your 100 Perfect Songs list or not?
No, I don't have any on there.
It feels like it's a different list.
Yep.
I don't know.
Jimmy Cobb just passed away, and when he did, this was the song that like Questlove wrote about on his like little mini eulogy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you barely hear him, but it's
gotta be stressful to be Questlove. You know what I mean? Anytime a drummer dies, you know the Atlantic is coming to your door.
Yeah, right.
They want to talk to you so bad. Oh my God. Speaking of the Atlantic, guys, I got to get you on this text chain I'm on.
It's not going to be him talking about him. It's the guy from Def Leppard. I've seen him in person. Wales.
You think that's your other go-to drummer? It's Questlove and the guy from Def Leppard. That'd be so good. Mr. PC.
Oh, it's got a little tempo to it.
Yeah.
This is when he's slathering on the Greek yogurt onto the pancakes at brunch on
the
Sunday
end of this
morning.
thing. I did just hear. I'd never heard Pharoah Sanders recording of Naima. I was in the car and I said play Naima, and instead of playing John Coltrane, Apple played Pharoah Sanders, and it was very nice. There's a lot of great renditions of a great song out there.
Aaron, you start blasting Coltrane. What is your son's reaction to this? Is he down with jazz music, or is he needs some?
No, he doesn't like it. No. He's like, I don't like jazz. Nope. Yeah. He's not into it.
Turn that fucking shit off, old man. Hey.
Yeah, it's a lot of that. We had James Brown was on one day, and he was like, "Is this jazz?" I said, "No, it's funk." He was like, "I like it." So we got that part, but no.
Yeah. Did you tell him it's on the ones?
I should have. I don't know if I did.
I would have said, "Hey, you like this? Let me explain it to you until you don't like it anymore. Welcome to the rest of your life." By the way, I'm doing fine. Hey, you could call me Mr. Mac. I always consider myself more of a Mac than a PC.
I was going to ask Rob, do you guys do jazz clubs in New York at all? Is that something you guys go to or not?
Yeah, we have. It's really unfortunate. Our favorite gay couple got divorced. They were the ones who always picked out the restaurants, the jazz clubs that we would go to. And so that has kind of dried up a little bit, which is kind of a bummer. So we're not going to the fancy places, no more steakhouses, no more jazz things. I got to figure that out.
So you won't ask if they're married at the live show?
The one thing I will say that's tough about jazz clubs, we've talked about this before, is it a social place or is it a show where you watch and are quiet the whole time? It's not an easy answer.
I think it all depends where the chairs are facing.
I just try to talk as loud as I can over the act, and then it makes it clear.
It's kind of like going to a movie, right? Like if you're going on a date, you're going to a movie, you're not talking to your date. It's just a little bit here.
Yeah, like hopefully the venue kind of makes that clear to you. Like I've seen the last jazz show I went to was at Yoshi's here in Oakland, and like that's very clear. Like once you go into the show, you're at your seat. There is a server, but the server's quiet. They turn the lights down. You know, like. You're watching the show.
So it could be a lighting thing. A lighting thing may trigger you on your behavior.
That's a great point.
Yeah, I think so. Like the venue should kind of tell you. Like if it's a bar where you're like still like the lights are up and you're talking to your bartender, your server, like clearly then the band knows that's the deal.
I also think if you're out there and you're like, first of all, if you don't like jazz, you haven't listened this far in this episode. But if you are like a jazz agnostic, go out and see it live. You cannot. Like, I get that this is a big album and everything. You cannot experience jazz any other way but live. It is so fun to watch. Yeah. It is great.
It's fun to watch the drummers. It's fun to watch the stand-up bass.
Stand-up. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh, Russell. Lay it down, Russell. Okay. I'm in the back doing heroin.
It's the stuff you really don't, you got to like see it to hear it kind of a thing, like the background stuff.
And you really see the communication between the musicians. You see them listening to each other. That's like a really next level thing.
And it makes you feel smart. It makes you feel cultured.
Well, we know that matters.
Makes you want to drink an old fashioned.
Guys, when you're taking your woman's bra off after going to see a jazz show, you're not doing it like a caveman ripping off fabric in a lustful endeavor.
Yeah.
You're a gentleman. You're taking off the petticoats. You're undressing milady.
You're layering those pancakes.
There's no chugging of blue Gatorade after a jazz show, is there, Rob?
No, you get your cigarette case out. You have a nice, long, slim cigarette. Yeah. It's classy all the way. Okay? You fall asleep. You wake up. Head's in flames.
Oh, falling asleep sounds so great.
No, not right now, Matt, because we have to still get to one of our favorite segments. And sometimes this segment actually takes longer than all the other segments. And we're trying to work on it. We really are. It's the rating system.
think I've fallen asleep twice so far.
Okay, what jokes do you want me to repeat?
Very popular Beck Did It Better rating system.
Oh, sorry, I fell asleep again.
No, don't say stuff like that. Okay, don't think I'm still not mad about Aaron's pancakes. Listen, is this album, again, this show is stupid. The concept of this show is very stupid. All right, we are stupid for doing this. You are stupid for listening to this. But our job right now is that we have to judge where this John Coltrane album goes on the list of the greatest albums of all time. Now, reminder, the last album we did was Tom Petty. Okay? So we need to decide, is John Coltrane better than Tom Petty? This is stupid. This is a stupid show. It's a stupid bit. But yet we press on. Okay? What do you think? If this is perfect at 232, it gets a rolling well-toned. If it should be higher up on the list, which of course would be a lower number, this is a rolling boned. It should have been higher up because getting boned is, I don't understand why we said that. And then rolling groan, okay, you did not like this, all right? You know, these groans are kind of my saxophone, and this is kind of my giant steps. That would be a rolling groan. Okay. What do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling boned, or rolling groan? Matt, before you totally fall asleep, what do you think?
It's hard to peg it, right? I mean, where does it fit in?
Al Bundy.
Why is it on the list? It's probably on the list because John Coltrane was so influential, but so were so many other people. So why is there not a Mingus on this list? Things like that. So I don't know. You know, I'm not quite sure. I think we've got one Coltrane album, and it's kind of like the Tom Petty one from last week. Do we need another one on the top 500 albums of all time? It just doesn't. It feels like he's on here. This album's on here because of the artist, not because of the album itself, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say it's rolling groan. Should be lower on the list and maybe just not even on the list. I don't know.
All right. Russ, what do you think? Rolling well-toned, rolling bone, or rolling groan?
I kind of am leaning towards Matt. The toughest part of this has been for me, you lined up all these musicians we've talked about so far. The hell if Coltrane's not like in the top 5 in terms of what their musical ability is. That was my impression listening to it. But it just doesn't feel like the jazz albums should be on this list. I don't know enough about like classical music to know if there's albums out there like that. I can't put this in to the category of all the pop albums, the rock albums, the hip hop, rap. I have a hard time adding it to the list. I'm going to say it's rolling groan. I've got the Love Supreme. They did not have giant steps at Cheapo, but I will get it when I see it, and I will love making brunch to it. But I'm going to say it's rolling groan because I'm with Matt. I can't peg it. I don't know how to rank it compared to the other ones.
Now listen, what jazz albums have we done? We've done Kind of Blue. We've done
Bitches Brew.
Love Supreme.
Love Supreme and Bitches Brew.
Bitches Brew is the other one I was thinking of. Bitches Brew is a wild one.
And so Aaron maybe can talk about it. Like, so there's 4 of them from 2 artists.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Matt and Russell, you've both nailed it. It makes no sense that this is here. It's a strange choice. Yeah, you're right, Russell. Of the vast world of jazz, everything that's out there, they chose 4 albums from 2 artists. I don't quite get how the choice was made. I think Love Supreme absolutely belongs because it's a cultural icon. I don't think it's weird that this is included on the list, but I do love Coltrane and this album so much that I'm going to have to call it a rolling well-toned because I don't want to say rolling groan, but you guys are right.
Like, is this a list that dumb people make of good jazz albums? I mean, is that what we're doing?
No, I truly don't. I really do think it's like, these are the albums that I think have enough people connections to pop music and pop artists that's what made it.
People have in their collection or have listened to things like that.
I don't know. I didn't see any of these. My mom had Herbie Mann. Herbie Mann ain't on the list. Give me that jazz flute.
Shit, that's a great point.
That's a great point. We should stop.
Multiple Herbie Mann albums. We've seen the cover of that one, Rob. Push.
Yeah. That's,
my God, look at the chest hair on that guy.
Pretty perverted. Unfortunately, you guys are incorrect.
Shit.
This gets a rolling Stairway to Heaven.
What?
Huh? How did Rob make this connection? He must be a fucking genius. In the same way that all good electric guitarists at some point have to learn the solo to Stairway to Heaven.
All right.
If you're a hardcore jazz musician, you have to learn giant steps. When you look up giant steps on TikTok, 90% of the videos are people saying, here's how you play giant steps. Here's the chord changes. Here's how you do it. There's no research on the album. Aaron sent me a very nice article today, but there's not people talking about the album. It's them trying to play the album.
Yeah,
this is it. This is the standard is the standard.
It's good, Rob. That's actually really good.
This is the track by which you are judged, to which Carl Lewis said, hey, I get that.
Yep. He also said, give me some of those steroids, but I'm not going to test positive, but I'm going to go all pissed at Ben Johnson. But yeah, there's no signs that I took anything, right?
All I can think about with Carl Lewis is that he finished butt naked last. That is still one of my favorite Carl Lewis quotes. That's about him, not by him. Next up, we have an album. Can you guys come up with a better bit for this? I cannot come up with a good line for this. I have an album that makes Aaron nervous. It's Little Earthquakes by Tori Amos. Now, what is a better ending to that? That sucks.
Man, we got Tori Amos wrong at trivia last week, and I knew it was Tori Amos, and they talked me out of it.
Rob, if I don't know if you saw it, but actually they announced some of the new WWE Hall of Famers going in this year, and one of them is the Natural Disasters starring Typhoon and his friend Earthquake. And I heard he had unfortunately passed away, so I'm guessing that at the speech it'll be Little Earthquake giving the speech.
Wow. Russell, that's so good.
When you want to hear about the greatest.
I can't believe Earthquake died.
The man did like the big giant butt squash as a move. That's an all-time fat guy move.
Yeah, they brought him out of this.
Him and Yokozuna pioneered the butt squash.
Earthquake was a wrestler who you looked at and you're like, that guy's going to die soon.
And he did.
We need to be careful with Earthquake.
Did it better.
Rob, we really got to end this episode now because I got to go turn this Ferrari into a taco truck and I'm going to top it off with a dollop of Greek yogurt.
Wow.
It's time to say goodbye.
If you don't mind, I'm going to go burn this episode to a CD that I'm making for my girlfriend. I'll be here until 10 in the morning.
Till dawn.
When you guys, Rob, when you were talking about burns earlier, I was thinking not like burning a CD. I was thinking about like, hey, your high school girlfriend's so fat, your mom makes fun of her. Like a burn.
Oh, a burn like that, yeah.
Yeah, like burn.
Sick burn, dude.
Yeah, sick burn.